School left me confused, withdrawn and angry. Some teachers tried to reach me. I failed to respond. There's a degree of guilt there. I hope that I wasn't as big a frustration as Edwards was to Greg Knowles. A short reading from the story You'll Be Sorry by Mark Hodgetts. Detention always seemed a pointless exercise to Greg Knowles. Neither he nor the detainee wanted to be there, and the concept's deterrent value was doubtful. So how he had fallen into the trap of keeping Edwards back for an hour was beyond him. Ordinarily, he could not wait for classes to finish so that he could hightail it back to Melbourne in time to chug a few pots with the lads at the local. Today, though, Edwards had managed to get sufficiently under his skin to force him into taking some action. Detention was not a great choice. The words had slipped out of his mouth unbidden. That was the trouble with letting your mouth engage while your brain was stuck in neutral. It was damn hard to take back what you said and maintain your authority at the same time. Knowles gave his chin a rueful scratch, then drummed his hand on the desktop while regarding his pupil with a curious mixture of distaste, wonder, and, if he was completely honest with himself, a little fear. Just who in the hell did the boy think he was? Edward seemed to sense Greg's eyes upon him, and looked up long enough to give Greg a sly grin, and then returned earnestly to his work, a 2,000-word free-choice essay. Knowles had not expected a lot, and had been surprised by the boy's apparent keenness to get stuck into it. The kid was full of little surprises. You thought you had him nailed down, and then whammo, he would go and do something completely contrary to expectations. Greg had been teaching at St Paul's Geelong for 3 years, and had initially been amused by his colleagues' reactions to and obsessions with Edwards. It had not taken long for him to form the opinion that a lot of what he was hearing was spineless whinging. He had voiced this opinion at a staff meeting and had been hailed down. Not long after that, he found that Edwards had been transferred to his English classes, and the battle had begun. He was too proud to voice his troubles with Edwards to any other staff, so he struggled on alone. It was a maddening experience. The boy was not the usual loud attention-seeking class clown that Greg had confronted from time to time. On the whole, he was quiet. It was his brooding presence that was disturbing. It was a manner that controlled the entire class. He seemed to know instinctively which buttons to press with each student, how and when to stir them up with a single word. It had taken a particularly rough lesson and a direct comment from the boy himself for Greg to realise how premeditated Edward's actions were. He'd had to discipline 3 of his better students, and the class had been in a constant state of restless discontent. It was the sort of hour that could break teachers, but Greg had hung on to his temper and toughed it out. At the end of the period, Edwards had sidled past him and sniggered. The lesson had been most satisfying. It was an enlightening and disturbing comment. Knowles is going to find a lot more out about Edwards, and it's not going to be good. The story is contained in the collection of dark, weird stories called Dark Weird Stuff by Mark Hodgetts. The book is currently available on Amazon and Lulu. You can purchase an ebook version through Lulu, which will shortly also be available through Amazon. Thanks for watching.